Well, you actually cannot, without having documentation, you can't have a motor scooter.
The government has laws that protect people with disabilities from having their rights violated. But what if it is an arm of the federal government itself that's violating those rights? Target 8 went undercover to find out, and 24-hour News 8's Joe LaFurgey has our story tonight.
If you gotta go by scooter, that Carroll's is a sweet ride. It's also essential to her ability to get around.
I can't stand up for long periods of time because I got a bad leg and I've had 5 back surgeries. It's so handy. And that's what I tell everybody that asks me. They say, oh, I want one of those.
But the people in charge of the post office on Lake Drive in Easttown apparently aren't fans of Pat's scooter. She told us she's visited that same facility several times since she got her scooter more than 2 years ago. But when she rode into the post office a week ago Wednesday, she was told she couldn't wait in line at the service desk.
The girl at the front desk yelled out, "You can't come in here with that." And I told her, yes, I can.
A few minutes later, the manager got involved.
And he said, if you want to come in here, you have to have documentation that this is a medical device. And I said, no, that's not necessary. Would you ask somebody in a wheelchair for that? And he said, no.
Now, maybe the postal workers were mistaken, but if the U.S. Postal Service, an arm of the same government that brought you the Americans with Disabilities Act, doesn't follow the rules, Pat wants the problem exposed. So Target 8 strapped a GoPro to the front of her scooter. She rolled back into the post office with a package she wanted to send to her daughter. It wasn't long before she was met with the same hassles she described before.
Okay. Well, you actually cannot, without having documentation, you can't have a motor scooter in.
This is not a motor scooter.
Okay, you've already talked to my manager about this. I can assist you if you'd like, but you have to pull off to the side.
The clerk was also worried about safety.
Like, you know, if you were to, hit a button and hit a customer that...
Honey, I've been driving around Holland Home Assisted Living for 2 years and I've never hit a person yet.
So Pat was told to park off to the side and wait for the manager.
He just can't come out here right now.
Why can't
a lot of it has to do, he's in the middle of something right now.
Well, he's in the middle of something, all right.
Now, this just didn't seem right. We tried to talk to the manager Pat was referred to twice for the second time.
No. Why are we being interviewed?
But the people behind the counter said they weren't authorized to talk. So we took Pat's concerns along with the video from her trip to Disability Advocates of Kent County.
What disturbs me more than anything else is the fact that they treated her quite rudely.
But what about the legality?
You're not allowed to ask what is it for, what is the disability, or any of that. And this is about not saying, show me your papers. That's what this is about.
While there are fines and other penalties for these sorts of things, DAKC would rather sit down with the Postal Service and try to fix the problem. Pat Carroll says she doesn't want to see another person with a disability go through what she did.
It was embarrassing to have him come out and yell at me in front of all these people.
In Grand Rapids, Joe LaFurgey, 24-Hour News 8.
Wow, now the Postal Service sent 24-Hour News 8 a statement in part touting the fact that they helped her mail her package after they refused to let her wait in line. They're quoting here from their statement, this individualized service successfully made Postal Service accessible to this customer and avoided placing her and other customers at risk of injury, end quote. The Postal Service says that the Easttown station is in full compliance with the Architectural Barriers Act, a measure similar to the Americans with Disabilities Act, but covers federal facilities.